Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today in the Leveraging AI and Security for Scale fireside chat. As we really look at the intersection of generative AI and cloud security, it becomes increasingly pivotal that organizations leverage technologies that can enhance their security posture and positively transform their businesses to scale. I'm so excited to have Jim Kavanaugh, the CEO and co-founder of Worldwide Technology, join me today. I'm Kate Kuehn. I'm the head of global cyber advocacy for Worldwide, to really talk about how technology is involved under the influence of Gen AI and cloud security, and highlight some of the challenges and opportunities brought forward by these amazing technologies. Jim, hi, thanks for joining.
Hi, Kate. It's great to be here.
Jim, I couldn't be more excited that we're doing this session together. As the leader of Worldwide Technology, I think you have an incredible lens of how technology is used, and how it's really changed since you started Worldwide is really an understatement. You've had a front row seat in really helping change how our industry and clients embrace and innovate. I'd love for you to tell me more about that journey and the impact you've witnessed as cloud, the need for more security, and now Gen AI have come forward.
Yeah, it's been fascinating, Kate. So first of all, thanks for doing this, and it's great to be part of this overall event opportunity. I think it's just an incredibly exciting time in the market today in general, just from a business standpoint. But you look at the space that we're collectively in, technology. Technology 25, 30 years ago, again, was more of a back office function. I've communicated this multiple times. A lot of times 25, 30 years ago, and as we've kind of progressed, was always trying to get IT a place at the table, a place in the boardroom, a place with the executive team, having an impact on the business. But as we all know, for a long time it was, keep dial tone up. Then all of a sudden email comes around, and it's like, okay, keep email up and just keep the lights on, basically. But the business, will run, by other people. Well, that's not so much the case any longer. And if you think about, it's almost every business is a technology business. If a board, CEO, the line of business leaders, if they're not thinking about digital strategy, digital transformation, digitizing their business, thinking about generative AI, with the explosion in the last 15 to 18 months, how are they thinking about, and not just thinking about, what are they doing? This is moving very, very quickly. So you can't just sit and wait for this all to be figured out. You have to get in the game, and you have to start driving your own journey to digitizing your business, to transforming your business, creating, differentiated customer, patient, fan experience with digital technology, software, Gen AI, but also thinking about how do you do that very thoughtfully, very securely? How do you make sure you have guardrails on these things that you're doing? And that's where, you're bringing all this together. These things can't be done in isolation. They can't be done in silos. They need to be done with a very integrated lens of how it's going to impact the business. So today, all of that is happening, and it's happening, real time and very quickly and very impactfully for every organization.
It's interesting you talk about, having been in technology 25, 30 years, and I've had a similar journey. And I think back, to the first day I was in technology and they made me take a phone apart and put it back together. And there was a test of whether I could name all the pieces of the phone. It's really come a long way. Thinking through all the changes you've witnessed, and how we leverage both technology and enterprise and personally from, 30 years ago and 25 years ago when I was taking a phone apart to now, what surprised you the most?
Well, that's kind of funny. That is fascinating. I think about like the early days of Worldwide. It was putting together and taking apart PCs, looking at motherboards, DRAM, static RAMs, disk drives, monitors, just how all, the systems come together, and, just the numerous organizations that were involved back then. So it is fascinating to think about, how we both kind of come up, and now you're really looking at software, driving things. You're looking at the Internet of Things that really is not that much talked about today, but it is happening. It is, so ubiquitous. Just almost every device, everything out there is being connected. So you think about that, of where we were and where we are now, and the things that we're doing. Again, I kind of go back to the point of uh, it has such an impact on us individually as consumers. You think about Gen AI, rolling out. It's almost ubiquitous in regards to the connectivity, or individual consumers connecting to ChatGPT and other large language models. That is just really starting to really take hold from a B2B standpoint, from a business to business standpoint, and that's going to change the game significantly. So when I look at, just different transition points in history and where we are today, and I would make, one other, I think, interesting point, which you would see quite well. You talk about a phone, taking it apart, putting it back together. You think about uh, the genesis of the iPhone, or the iPhone, of mobile phones, and you think about those devices, Blackberries, and different things that were happening. You think about the position that corporate IT took, and chief technology officers, CIOs. Their first response was, that device will never be hooked up to the corporate network. It is not, we are not going to hook that up to the network. It's more of a toy and an individual consumer device that will not be connected. For what reasons? Because we don't want to open up security risk. And so if you think about, the technology, it had such a significant impact on not just consumers, but on how you communicate and how you do business as a business and a business leader, that regardless of what you wanted to do, because of security reasons, it drove the business and you had to make those decisions. And so, the chief security officer had to figure out, how do I securely implement this new technology? I think we're in a very similar situation, but I think it's even going to be much more prolific in regards to the way it's going to impact, every business, every consumer. So it's an exciting, time and place for us, where we are today, and just, the opportunity that we have to really make a difference on the businesses.
It's interesting, what surprised me, kind of two things. I remember a mentor many, many years ago telling me that he was concerned I was going into security because he didn't think security was here to last. He was wrong. But I look at the last, to your point, 18 months to 2 years, and AI has been around. It just had its 70th birthday from the Turing test. 70 years AI has been around. But the rapid amount of change and embrace, to your point on generative AI, the last 2 years, that's what's really surprised me. And what I love coming to Worldwide Technology is you've really set the tone for us to embrace not only cloud, but where AI and innovation is headed. And I think, that it really is the major focus from a worldwide technology perspective of where we're headed in the future. You've set that tone that AI is going to be something we think about and integrate every single day. What are you most excited about today as you look towards the future? What gets you, just so pumped up about where the industry is headed?
There's things that get me incredibly excited, and at the same time, I'm like overwhelmed, just individually. And we're right in the middle of this, so I have the good fortune of working with very talented people like you and others on the team that have such great insight and expertise. And then you think about the partners we're working with that are leading the charge. NVIDIA, one being a very, just a significant, player in this whole space, and just a great partner of ours. So when I look at this, I just think there's such opportunity uh, to really change the way that organizations operate today, and that is, how you actually, drive, operational efficiencies, how you automate, uh, mundane tasks and things that are being done within the organization to allow your employees to be more effective, more impactful. And then you think about not only how you automate, but then how you actually scale the organization. How do you do more with the same amount of people? And as you add people, you look at that scaling capability. All organizations are going to be looking at, and then optimally, you're looking at how is AI going to differentiate the services and the capabilities you provide for your customers and your clients. You think about that the patient experience in healthcare, you think about the fan experience, you think about consumer experience and retail and fast food and just all of these different areas. And then you think about the impact that AI can have on solving real world problems, aligned to, cancer research, et cetera. So many incredible opportunities in front of us. And I think we're right in the sweet spot of being able to help customers drive those opportunities internally in their organizations and to create new innovative capabilities and solutions for their customers. So bringing all that together, it's a massive opportunity, but it's changing incredibly fast. And we are investing in our own people and labs and being an AI first organization to help companies really sort through the barrage of innovations that are coming at them and to help them in a very real time basis sort through and make intelligent decisions about what's real, maybe what's out in the future, and there's going to be, hype in certain areas that need to be, filtered through the process. So I believe we're in a really, really good spot because of the labs and the talented people we have on our software development teams, our infrastructure team, our AI team, traditional natural language processing, machine learning, generative AI. And then you think about doing this in a very thoughtful, a very secure way that helps make sure that the organizations that we're working with are doing just that, implementing these game-changing technologies to actually change your business, but not to put their business at risk. So uh, there's a lot there, and we are dealing with all of this now to do just that, to help our customers really sort through this. Because the other thing I would add to this is not something that you can sit on the sidelines and wait to see it play out. If you think you're going to wait for the perfect plan to drive your journey for generative AI and to build out the capabilities that are going to deliver the outcomes, you're probably going to be at a major disadvantage because your competitors are going to move on this. So I think this is something that there has to be, the willingness to really push down and move forward with this journey to AI and real outcomes for your business, but to do it very thoughtfully. And to do that, you're going to need, I would say, a collaborative, trusted partner to help you do that. And that's what we're building at Worldwide.
It's interesting that you talk about kind of both sides of the coin, both the opportunity and the concerns. And, one of the things I love about what we've created with the labs and with our partners is the fact that we have the ability to help customers sort through, as you mentioned, the hype cycle and really start to develop something that I know CSA is very proud of as well, which is really digging into what is responsible AI and how do we, ensure that what we're bringing to market, that what our customers are using, what the market is starting to bear as far as opportunity, that we understand, the concerns and the risks about it as well. Jim, we're coming up to time in a couple minutes, and I've got one more question for you. So you've seen a lot, and I hate to say 30 years, 25 years. Gosh, I don't want to discuss, where we're going to be 25 years from now. But what advice do you have for organizations and technologists as we start to come to fact that AI is here to stay? I've been out with our customers recently, and I was likening it to a good friend of I see kind of a hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil scenario going, where one third are fully embracing, one third are kind of, to your point, sitting back and watching, and to some degree, I think a bit frustrated that they're sitting back and watching, and one third that's kind of dipping a toe in the water. Our role is to help them get immersed. That's my view, is that this is here to stay. What advice do you have for them regarding that, being a leader that's seen so much from a transformation perspective?
Yeah, first of all, Kate, I think your description, a third, and a third is very good because I really do think if you're trying to describe it in big, broad strokes, that's what I'm seeing also, and I think we're seeing across the board. Uh, if I had some advice to CEOs and to leaders of organizations, that you have to start the journey. You have to start your journey to Gen AI if you haven't already done so. This is going to be the most transformative technology, transformational from a business and a consumer standpoint of any technology we've ever experienced in our lives. So I think you need to start down the road. And to do that, my other piece of advice is none of us have all the answers. And that's why I'm relying heavily on the collaborative team here at Worldwide and pushing everybody very hard to really lean into being a sponge, learning and testing these different technologies on building them and creating these innovation lab environments to do just that, to test, to break, to evaluate on behalf of our clients, and to work with very collaboratively our strategic partners like NVIDIA, different software providers that we have to really test out and evaluate these platforms from an infrastructure, an AI purpose-built infrastructure standpoint, all the way to building out software and use cases, integrating into different large language models, because this is iterating very quickly. How you're implementing a RAG model, or if you're thinking about building your own kind of mini large language model, the vector databases, the technology behind the scenes are evaluating quickly. How you are building out capabilities, software integration, APIs, into leveraging agents. All of these things are moving very quickly. So my recommendation for clients is to find trusted partners, individuals that have committed and are invested in learning and testing and trialing these different environments to help them make the best decisions they can at this point, that are also being very thoughtful and prudent about how are they implementing this technology, because it has massive upside, but there will be some risk that you need to be thoughtful about, from the guardrails that you put in place, the policies you put in place, where your data resides, how you're going to manage that, the different use cases that you have. So when I step back and I think about all that, to do this in the most effective way is creating a high performing team. And that's what we're looking to do with our customers, and to bring that to bear. Not that we have all the answers, but we have a lot of insights and a lot of value to offer. The other piece, I think, for clients, from my view, is that you want to build out, figure out your unified data structure. You want to start building your own, call it AI platform, whether that's a RAG model, or you're connecting to LLMs or building your own LLM. But you eventually want to build out more of your own, call it AI factory, where you have an infrastructure, a platform, an architecture that has been very thoughtfully built and designed across your enterprise. And then you start driving use cases out of that platform. And you look at that unified data fabric as the enabler to do that. And then there's going to be technology that's going to change. And you may rewrite, your connectivity into certain LLMs that are more effective. And so how you design that back end is going to be very important. How you do that very securely with the right guardrails, but not where you're locked in to something, specifically that limits your ability to be innovative and creative. So I know it's a long answer to your question, but I couldn't be more excited about where we are. The really the passionate, talented people that we have that have just leaned in the partnerships that we have out there with our partners like NVIDIA, but also the customers we have. We have such a great customer base, and we're learning from them also as we go forward. So I couldn't be more excited.
Jim, I loved your long answer because I think it's exactly right. It's an exciting time, and we need to stand shoulder to shoulder and embrace it, both the opportunity and understanding the risk. And the only way we're going to do that is through collaboration and partnerships. You said it kind of in the middle of our discussion that the silos are coming down. It's technology, cyber, and AI together in a new digital era, and we have to start embracing it in that way. And the only way we're going to do that is through comprehensive partnership and collaboration. Jim, thank you so much. This has been an absolute pleasure. I really appreciate you taking the time to spend time with our audience today. And thank you for tuning in and listening. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Kate.